Vince Inventor Extraordinaire Da Vinci. Okay, Evertale homies, we're back with a new one. Got a new SSR coming in hot and ready. For her stats, nothing too special, kind of in the average range, right? However, don't judge a book by its cover. So let's start in with her Star Sweep, right? It gives you 2 spirit right off the bat just for using it. It's an attack all skill, at least that's good. It heals Da Vinci for the amount of damage that is dealt. So if it hits everybody, it's going to heal her for the amount of damage overall for every enemy that's hit. This also steals 1 spirit and it doesn't wake up any sleeping allies. So that's pretty good. Right off the bat, it looks like she's going to pair well with sleep teams. Or if you're building a team that kind of revolves around keeping the enemy at low spirit. So kind of like D Sydney, stuff like that. So that's good. Dark Sydney, for those who don't really do terminology. Moving right on to the next skill, Cosmic Cannon. This is attack 1 skill, right? So times 1 attack, it does consume a charge, but it also grants the enemy the sleep status effect for 200 TU. Sleep units, hey man, y'all gonna come up, right? However, if damage from this attack kills a non-conjured enemy, then 1 random non-boss and non-ephemeral enemy will be immediately defeated. So right off the bat, she's giving me Kajiro vibes, right? So non-ephemeral definition, like it basically means like permanent, non-lasting, or long-lasting. So does this, why use this verbiage, right? So is this just saying it's going to target a regular unit like a normal unit, or is this something new that's going to come out? Because why use that verbiage, right? Why not just use the non-boss enemy verbiage that they use for everybody else? Or is this going to just mean that it won't target like clones, it won't select like Odin's Ravens and like some of these recent copy units that we had coming out? Or going back to my whole theory crafting, right, about like new units, is there going to be units that come out and that only last for a certain amount of time? That means like they're not long lasting. So by definition, you know what I mean. However, if you guys actually know like exactly what this verbiage means, then let me know. Hit me up in the comments or something, because I am actually interested to know like exactly what kind of units they're referring to. However, moving on to the third skill, Ancestral Ascension. So this is going to be a 600% times 2 attack. Gains recovery miss for 100 TU. Cannot be stunned for 100 TU also. Does not wake up sleeping enemies. And if damage is dealt to 2 enemies, it has to be dealt to at least 2 enemies, and she gets the next turn if it hits 2 enemies. So stealth teams, right, could probably sneak by her a little bit then.
So, Mr. Piccolo,
could be a
what are you
weakness,
going to teach me today?
or how to strength. Who knows? However, this is only usable if she has defeated 2 units on the battlefield. So she is going to have to get kills in order for this to kind of start popping off. All right, Grand Design. Gains a power charge and heals all allies for 500% of her attack, and gets 1 of the random effects, right? So her first effect is her next attack becomes execute skill. That means it's going to kill all non-boss enemies. And the other second part is going to be that she'll get another turn, right? This is also only usable if she has no charges. Let's hop into the passives. All right, so passives. She does look like she has a laundry list here. All right, Master Inventor. All right, Colin. Way back in the day, right, y'all? All right, so she is starting off strong. If she would be defeated, she survives until her next turn. She cannot be defeated or stunned, and she heals for 10% every turn. This is her hold ground ability. However, this is also resettable. That's a very, very fine skill. I love resettable hold ground. And this is also a hold ground plus, not just a regular hold ground. This is kind of good in my opinion. This is like kind of crazy because it doesn't use her charges, right? So she doesn't have to expend a charge to reset this hold ground. They shifting, y'all. They shifting on us. And this resets every time she defeats an enemy with an attack. Now here's the thing that's kind of crazy, right? It doesn't say like non-conjured enemies. Because if this is any type of enemy like clones and stuff, like copy units, Odin Ravens, that's gonna be she's just gonna be like a copy killer for sure, man, for sure. Also, when an ally is defeated, or when a non-conjured ally is defeated, throw that in there. All allies, they gain armor and heals for 30% and becomes enraged. So she does have some pretty good support capabilities. And if you're heavily invested in a copy unit, like copy plats, all that good stuff, don't get this unit because she's not going to work well with copy units. What should I say? Like summoning units, right? Like conjured units, all that good stuff. She's not going to work well with it. Or at least she won't be at like full potential, like using her passives in that team comp. All right, so for the last passive, Adaptive Assault cannot be sent to reinforcements, so an immovable effect. Whenever an enemy is defeated or sacrificed, she is purified. Just her, and she loses a charge. So this does apply to copy units, right? Or like summons, conjure units, all that good stuff. All right, so for the second part, whenever she defeats like a corresponding unit, like an element-wise, like if she defeats a burn unit, she'll be burn immune, permanently burn immune. So that's why I was talking about like possibly a burn team, but I wouldn't do it. However, she also gets stun immunity, sleep immunity, and poison immunity if she defeats that type of element. And then she'll hand out wards to all her allies based on the enemy that she defeated. So if you want to get real fancy, I think you could throw her into a burn team, but it depends on the newer units. Because if they all have to be burning, then you're going to lose your skill set for the most part. But if they release burn units that only has to have like certain conditions for like only 2+ units need to be burning on the field to like defeat this enemy, whatever, then I can see them pair well together because she does have the resettable hold ground plus. So she will be kind of hard to kill, and it does look like she can survive in any type of weather, like element wise, like burn, poison, all that good stuff. So do I like this unit? Yes I do. However, if you already have Kajiro or a dedicated support unit for your team, then I would probably just skip her and then I'd just wait for whatever is coming next. Especially if you're running burn, you don't want to pick her up for any burn team, honestly, because they just don't have the proper units to work with. Honestly, the only teams that like are gonna be kind of clamoring to get this unit is sleep team. She screams sleep, right, in a sleep comp. She's a light unit also, so that's better because they do have a lot of units out that counter like pure sleep teams, or like they won't be able to go to sleep if there's all water units or a water unit on the field. And my main thing is looking at her like her attacks. Yeah, she's going to get turned. She's going to get all this other stuff. She looks great on paper, but that's kind of misleading because I don't think she's going to be getting that many kills. This is a well unit, so if you're a new player or you're on the come up, and you don't have a lot of fellowships, that extra power, then she's not going to be doing it for you because she's not going to be killing units unless you're just going against copy units or Odin's Ravens, thing that's easy to kill. All right, so real quick, let's go over pros, then let's go over cons. So pros, resettable hold ground plus. I love it. That's a nice skill. She also has a deletion skill, right? Immediately delete. She has support capabilities. She can provide heals. She gets a lot of turns. And she purifies, but she only purifies herself, which is why I'm saying it's a possibility depending on new burn units. She could work in their team, but do not do it. Not at this point. Wait till her next rotation. Look at new units that's coming out. And she gets a lot of kills, but only if she's getting kills. So now we're going to segue into the cons, right? Yes, she gets turns, but she doesn't give turns to allies. All right. Cons also, no armor. She doesn't come in with armor. She might just be like deleted herself. She could just be killed right off before she even gets the ball rolling. She's going to be a high investment unit for her to be getting kills like that, reliable kills, unless she's just picking off enemies, weak enemies. So I think she's going to be really good against like copy units. She's going to be good against like conjuring teams. But if you're going against a team that doesn't like have conjured units up or not summoning anything, then just regular teams are going to probably give her a hard time because they all have hold grounds. They're all so hard to kill now. So for me, if you got Kajiro or you have a dedicated support, I'd probably skip her. A dedicated sleep team or curse sleep team, she could go into a poison team also. Or if you're just making a plat to specifically counter burn teams like for war, then yeah, go ahead and pick her up. I'm not going to pick her up. I also don't have the SS to pick her up. However, I wouldn't do it. I'll skip this unit, and I probably won't get her in any of my vault accounts or anybody else. I'm not going to recommend anyone get her. But that's up to you, and hopefully everybody had a good time, and you learned a little bit. All right, I'm the Kai out. Peace.
Welcome to my party. We're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarred.